one of the things that you brought up that I think is just amazing is whenever you're having a conflict with your spouse, you never exteriorize that to the outside world, right? The scriptures tell us to honor our spouse. And sometimes guys get this whole like, oh, the old ball and chain mentality. And that's your wife. That's you chose her, right? And St. Paul says, whoever honors his wife honors himself. Whoever loves his wife loves his own flesh. So give yourself a compliment by giving your wife a compliment. If you say, my wife is lovely and smart and funny, and I just enjoy her company so much, and there's nobody else I'd rather be with. If you say that, then what you've just said is, I chose a good wife because I make good decisions. And if you have the ball and chain mentality, then everything that you say bad about your wife, it bounces back on you. So one piece of advice for any married couple out there that's watching this, just get rid of the negative language regarding your spouse to anyone. Just completely eliminate it from your vocabulary, because it seems like a small thing. And you make this little joke here about the dishes, and you make this little joke about but it adds up and it becomes nagging and carping, and it just changes the way that you think about your wife and changes the way that you think about your marriage. You should be, and this is something I'm still working on to some extent. I think I do a decent job at it by the grace of God, but you should be looking for opportunities to brag on your spouse's good features and to say how lovely and wonderful your spouse is and how your wife is such an amazing such an amazing mother to your children. You should be looking for those occasions, because that's what the scriptures tell us to do. That's what it means to honor somebody. That's what it means to honor your spouse. And so the first thing for conflict resolution will be get rid of half the conflicts that you're going to have by changing the way that you speak about and think about your wife. What would you say about that?
I think that's very tempting for women to feel the emotions, because women are definitely more emotional. They'll feel the high highs and the low lows very intensely. And it's really easy to go to your mom, call her up on the phone, and just pour out your heart to her and express your hurt that your husband is causing you, or your sister, or to your friend, your best friend. And what you're doing is your husband is suffering from you. So it needs to be you and your husband against the world. You v. the world. And when you go, and even if it is valid hurt, when you go and air it out to people that are unproductive to air it out to and are not going to give you counsel to actually fix it, you're just venting, your husband is now in danger of you. And you don't want your husband to ever be in danger of his own marriage. It's a marriage attacking and eating itself. So you gotta poker face it. So don't ever even sometimes address things in front of the kids.
Yeah.
I think that's a big one too, of it's not even just the exterior friends to vent over, but don't have these carping, nagging, or condescending comments in front of your children too, because that's how your children are going to interpret the mother or the father, but also the authority structure. You start to create cracks in it, and kids will take advantage of that, and any issues that you're trying to correct in the children all of a sudden become a million times harder, because mom and dad aren't cohesive, and they're not going to agree, and the kids are going to know that, and an inch becomes a mile in whatever bad attitude that you're trying to adjust.
Yeah, children learn how to respect their mother by watching how their father treats their mother. And children learn how to respect their father by watching how the mother treats the father. So that goes back to just the foundational relationship has to be your marriage, and everything else is secondary to that.